Hello friends, in this video we are going to see the 20 United Kingdom pound sterling standard circulation banknote, which was launched in the years from 2020 to 2022 by the government of the United Kingdom. These banknotes were printed by the Central Bank of England and were printed at De La Rue, which is also known as Thomas De La Rue or Thomas De La Rue and Company, TDLR, London, United Kingdom. Now let us see the physical structure of the banknote. It is a rectangular-shaped banknote made from polymer material. It is printed using the intaglio technique, that is, raised printing technique, which can be felt by soft touch on the note surface. The predominant color of the banknote is purple color. The size of the banknote is 139 mm by 73 mm. Now let us discuss the obverse side of the banknote. When the note is observed from the left to right side, we can see that it has a denominational numeral 20 with the pound sterling symbol in English on the top left corner, and it has denominational numeral 20 on the top right corner of the note. Next, it has the lettering London for the Governor and Company of the Bank of England in English, and it also has the signature of the Chief Cashier of the Bank of England. Next, on the front of the note, the side with raised print, there are 3 clusters of raised dots in the top left-hand corner. This tactile feature helps blind and partially sighted people identify the value of the note. Next, it has the logo of the Bank of England, which consists of the image of seated Britannia. Next, it has the portrait of the monarch Queen Elizabeth II, which is printed on the window, with the text, £20 Bank of England printed twice around the edge. Next, it has a see-through window, which has the metallic image of the Margate Lighthouse and Turner Contemporary behind it over the window, and a pound symbol. The foil is blue and gold on the front of the note, and silver on the back. Next, it has a second, smaller window in the bottom right corner of the note, with the value of the note written in tiny numbers. Next, it has a silver foil patch above the see-through window on the front of the note, which contains a 3D image of the coronation crown, and it also has pound symbol and denominational numeral 20 at the bottom of the coronation crown 3D image, and it has the text Bank of England below it. Next, it has a hologram image, in which the word changes between 20 and pounds when the note is tilted, and it has the text £20 written multiple times above the word. Next, it has the text Bank of England in English language. Next, it has the lettering I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £20 in English language. Next, it has the central image, which contains the image of the Bank of England, coats of arms of 4 constituent countries of the United Kingdom, which are England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and it has the denominational numeral 20 in Roman numerals, that is, XX, and it also has the small denominational value 20 and small denominational numeral 20. Next, it has the text £20 in English language. Next, it has the lettering Copyright the Governor and Company of the Bank of England 2018 in English language, which is the international copyright symbol included on the front and back of the note, below the £20 text. Here, this is the date of the design copyright, and not the date of issue. Next, it has the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen is wearing Queen Alexandra's cluster earrings, Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee necklace, and Queen Mary's Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara with bandeau base. Next, on the right of the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, it has the text EIIR, which stands for Elizabeth II Regina, which is the royal cipher of Queen Elizabeth II, standing for Elizabeth II, Queen. Next, below the left side of the monarch's portrait, it has the text 20, which is the denominational value of the note, and the value of the note is written in tiny letters and numbers around it. Next, below the right side of the monarch's portrait, it has the denominational numeral 20, which is the denominational value of the note. Next, it is raised print on the words Bank of England, and in the bottom right corner, over the smaller window, and next, it has the value of the note, which is written in tiny numbers, on the right side of the note. Now let us discuss the reverse side of the banknote. When the note is observed from the left to right side, we can see that it has a denominational numeral 20 in English on the center of the note, and on the top right corner of the note, it has a denominational numeral 20 with the pound sterling symbol in English. Next, it has the text Bank of England in English language. Next, it has the text 20 pounds in English language. Next, it has the central image, which contains the image of the Fighting Temeraire, which is one of J.M.W. Turner's most famous paintings. This was a tribute to the ship HMS Temeraire, which played a distinguished role in Nelson's victory at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. The Fighting Temeraire, tugged to her last berth to be broken up, 1838, is an oil-on-canvas painting by the English artist Joseph Mallord William Turner, painted in 1838 and exhibited at the Royal Academy in 1839. The painting depicts the 98-gun HMS Temeraire, one of the last second-rate ships of the line to have played a role in the Battle of Trafalgar, being towed up the Thames by a paddle-wheel steam tug in 1838 towards its final berth in Rotherhithe to be broken up for scrap. The painting hangs in the National Gallery, London, having been bequeathed to the nation by the artist in 1851 as part of the Turner bequest. And, at the center, it has the self-portrait of J.M.W. Turner, which was painted circa 1799 and is currently on display at Tate Britain. Joseph Mallord William Turner, known in his time as William Turner, was an English romantic painter, printmaker and watercolorist. He is known for his expressive coloring, imaginative landscapes and turbulent, often violent marine paintings. His artistic style developed over his lifetime, moving away from romanticism, bypassing the following rising style of realism and, instead, with his later works being a significant precursor of and presaging the later impressionist and abstract art movements that arose in the decades after his death. He left behind more than 550 oil paintings, 2,000 watercolors, and 30,000 works on paper. And it also has Turner's signature, which is from his will, in which he left many of his paintings to the nation. Below his portrait, and it also has the quote "Light is therefore color," which is a quote from a lecture Turner gave in 1818, and a reference to his innovative use of light, shade, color and tone. And, on the right side of the portrait, it has the lettering Joseph Mallord William Turner, from 1775 to 1851. Next, it has a round purple foil patch, which contains the letter T, representing a staircase at the Tate Britain Art Museum in London. Next, it has unique serial numbers in English, in which a unique serial number is printed horizontally and vertically on the back of the note. The vertical number runs down the left side of the note, and the numbers and letters are the same height and color. The horizontal number is in the bottom right side. It is made up of multicolored letters and numbers, which increase in height from left to right. And, next, it has microtext, in the denominational numeral 20 in English language, and it also has microtext, in lettering Royal Academy in English language. The Royal Academy of Arts, RA, is an art institution based in Burlington House in Piccadilly, London, England. Founded in 1768, it has a unique position as an independent, privately funded institution, led by eminent artists and architects. Its purpose is to promote the creation, enjoyment and appreciation of the fine arts through exhibitions, education and debate. Here, we reach the end of this video. Hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching the video. See you soon. Goodbye.